hill.
I think with the first dive, we didn't really have a good sense of just how steep this drop-off was.
In order to determine the location of the plane after almost 30 years of drifting, Ted uses the length of the Catalina airstrip as a guide.
Catalina airstrip at this scale is a little bit over 1.5 inches in length. We're getting a contour here that in about 0.2 inch is 60 feet of additional depth.
The amount of drift caused by the current, along with the steepness of the ocean floor in this area, may have caused the plane to fall deeper into the channel. This effect is known as mass wasting.
Mass wasting is any time you have movement of rocks, dirt, debris downhill being pulled by gravity. That's how you get mudslides, or in the case of underwater, you get the debris moving downhill.
In this case, in Catalina, we have a number of the factors that would really exacerbate that effect.
The team believes the wetness of the soil, the lack of cohesion in the ocean sand, and the angle of incline are all causes for why this plane is missing.
You can see the big rocks are already rolling down. You know, so look at this mass wasting. Now just imagine if there were an object on the surface of the sand. It would just be traveling right down the hill with the whole pile of sand. So now there's our, our airplane fuselage sitting on the surface. So you're actually pushing water uphill against it, and we're going to see if it still falls downhill against that. There it goes. Look at that.
It came at it.
It fell towards, against the current.
The relationship between gravity and the cohesion effect on the granules, we can see that over a short period of time, the object moved fairly quickly. And over a long period of time, say 30 years, this object could have traveled quite far.
Guys, I think we've got our smoking gun.
Absolutely.
Yep. I have no doubt that in the location where we expect this crash site to be, with that slope and all the factors, that we've got a good amount of mass transport moving downhill into the depths. Based on this model and these experiments, we know this aircraft is further offshore.
Right.
And we'll just set up a new search grid just a bit further offshore.
The team dives deeper into the mysterious waters off Catalina. What they find only deepens the mystery.
How many plane wrecks are around here anyway?
Based on the experiments in the lab, the team heads out for a new area where they believe the wreckage has drifted. It's 2 miles east of their original search location.
Based on some new information we have, which is the expected water current in that area, we've extended the search pattern into some deeper water.
The new search area moves the team closer to the San Pedro Basin. At a depth of almost 1 mile, it is one of the deepest sections of the channel. Many UFO researchers believe that the high concentration of USO sightings here might be somehow related to this deep trench. They say that the depth offers an ideal hiding spot for USOs.
And this is what we're looking for. It's a Piper Cherokee low wing. We think that the wreck is somewhere around here, right? And the previous scans we've done are along this highlighted area. What we're predicting here is that this wreck has actually been slowly working its way down this steep slope, getting out into deeper and deeper water.
The strong current in the channel will cause objects to drift over time. As the current lifts objects from the floor, gravity will slowly pull it deeper into the channel. This is the scientific theory, but the team now has to consider a new theory. Could the plane wreckage have possibly been taken by a USO?
We're going to speak to Preston Dennett. Preston is going to tell us what some of the stories are about the mysteries of this particular channel. He's written a lot of books on UFOs and USOs over Southern California. He's going to help us comb the mysteries of this channel and find out exactly what's going on with USOs over the Catalina Trench.
I think it's one of the hot spots for USO activity in particular in the world. It's extraordinary. The activity here goes back to at least 1947, the dawn of the modern age of UFOs. I've collected probably 50, 100 reports of this kind in just this area here.
USO researcher and author Preston Dennett has tracked numerous reports in the Santa Catalina Channel and has a controversial theory on the concentration of USO sightings in this area.
And I came up with a theory that perhaps there is an underwater base here, which sounds fantastic, I know, but how else can you explain the huge number of reports?
Why would they choose this place as a base of all places?
They're here because of us. And what's unique about this particular area is it's very close to a large population base, Los Angeles. So my theory is that the USOs are using this place kind of like a hunter's blind. They're able to hide their craft, do whatever they need to do, and still have access to a very large population base. Turns out that the geography of this area is riddled with caves and underground tunnels leading from, say, Edwards Air Force Base to Vandenberg to Catalina Island. So there is some military involvement here. I've got a case which took place here in 1967. A gentleman was actually abducted right here in Avalon Harbor off the boat, and he recalled under hypnosis being taken into an area where there was rock walls. He had the distinct impression this was underground. It had to be somewhere close. Where else would it be but, you know, in the bay here?
The Santa Catalina Channel has a depth of almost 1 mile, and if there were caves and tunnels beneath the water, conventional technology would have trouble even confirming their existence.
We cannot travel to the extreme depths that these craft can.
Even our big nuke submarines can't travel down to those bases?
Not with the ease that these craft can do. These craft are able to actually come up out of the water and fly straight up. We have nothing that can do that.
Had you thought about what kind of technology it takes that they may have to do this?
Whatever it is, it's way beyond, I think, anything that we have.
What's spooky that you're telling me about is when you call this place a hunter's blind. Because if it's a hunter's blind, there's a hunter, and the only other people around here are us, and we're the prey.
I know, it's a little disconcerting. I think the witnesses, they come to the realization that we are not alone, and that we have not been alone for a long, long time.
Well, if I'm a little bit green in the face, it's because the crossing to Catalina was a bit rough. We had about an hour of bouncing on 8-foot swells, so that didn't really go well with my scrambled eggs breakfast that I had this morning.
Let's get this fish in the water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Captain Ray Arnst has been sailing the waters of the Catalina Channel for over 20 years.
Okay. We're set up and rolling. Let's make it record.
We've got our side scan sonar in the water, or fish as it's called, and we're going back and forth on our grid searching for our target.
Got a little bit of a hit on the side scan. What we want to do now is we want to run the sounder over it, see if we can find a target.
So what does the hit look like?
Cylindrical.
Cylindrical.
Like an aircraft fuselage, perhaps?
Yeah.
Would we not also see wings or anything else? Why would we only see the fuselage?
Could have broken off on impact. It could be the orientation where you can't see the wings. Maybe you're looking right down along the way. Lots of reasons.
The team continues its search of Ripper's Cove.
Hey, Ted, better take a look at this.
What do you got?
I got one that looks just like an airplane on the side scan.
Excellent.
Very distinctive. Looks like an engine, wings. That definitely looks like an airplane.
Wow, so it's not just a target, it actually looks like a plane.
That's an airplane. Actually, I'm going to go in the water with you this time. Let's both go.
I'm really excited that we have a target that actually looks like a plane, and there's a high likelihood that this is the plane. If he was taken by extraterrestrials from the craft, the windshield wouldn't be broken and the seatbelt should still be intact. So I'm hoping to find a windshield that is not broken and seatbelts that are intact, and that would lend credibility to his story of extraterrestrial contact.